let's expand it a bit then and take it out. So if I understood that correctly, we've got, there's Bitcoin, there's variations, there's stable coins, and there's governments in different jurisdictions looking to go and push their technology onto these platforms, and they're going to have to, otherwise you're going to see, as you said, Libra for Facebook, which is the original project name, with 2.5 billion users that suddenly get access to purchase. But this at the moment is still at a stage where it feels like it is an investment, it's gold, which isn't also equally difficult to invest in, but it's made easier by financial markets. When are we going to start to see, or maybe I'm missing it, it's already happening, real benefits and user cases coming to consumers? People like you and me and everyone on the call from a retail perspective, not this kind of stuff sitting in the middle of these technical assets sitting there at institutions and hedging and treasury and all that type of stuff.
Okay, so I really believe that it's happening as we speak, because I work for the biggest blockchain company in the world, and I know what projects we're working around the world, and some of them are unbelievable, especially in the area of social impact. The area that I would love to talk to you about later, which is all about the tokenization of assets and the impact that tokenizing will have in the world, and that will also include the non-fungible tokens. And let's not forget the assets. We're still talking about payments, and definitely payments are going to totally change, because one of the biggest problems we have in Africa, for example, and many other countries, is remittances. As you know, the story of remittances, I believe, is a very sad story. It's actually, your heart bleeds when you hear people in South Africa sending money to Zimbabwe or Malawi or other places, and the money gets given to a taxi driver, cash, and they rely on the taxi driver to take money back home. And then they rely that that money went to the family, and that the family is going to use the money for the purpose that they agreed to use it. I've heard horrible stories of people sending the money, working a whole year, sending their hard-earned income, and they arrive home and the money's gone. So all of this, and the cost of remittances. Listen, I'm originally from Uruguay. I've sent money to my family in South America. It takes longer for the money to arrive than if I got in a plane and I took the money myself. Plus, sometimes the money sort of like disappears in a black hole of correspondent bankers that you don't know where the money's stuck. Could be stuck in any bank, because as you know, the rand hasn't got a relationship with the peso in Uruguay, so the money has to go rand dollar. That dollar is a bank in the US, dollar peso. So all of these people get to charge. But imagine with this new technology, I'm going to be able to transfer. I can do it today. I can transfer Bitcoins real time by just using one little finger. One finger, no phone calls, no intermediaries, no delays, hardly no charges. You tell me if that remittances story doesn't change. It's a game changer for people. And don't get me started when you establish a digital currency that every human being in the world would have a wallet in their cell phones, in their mobile phones. And this story about having the old ladies, that nearly 20 million people in South Africa get paid a grant. And during COVID, we had the old ladies waiting outside the post office in the rain, waiting to be paid. That is so inhumane that it's crazy that the government hasn't said, how do we pay this real time directly to the wallet? Or we saw in the US, supposedly so sophisticated, sending by post the checks during COVID time. At least their post office works better than ours, but just try sending anything in the post office. So I'm not being funny, it's the reality. Sorry, what did you say?
Do you think this will be helpful for the unbanked?
Helpful? It's like a no-brainer. Imagine that we are able to open accounts for anybody. The biometrics will require their own picture. They won't need to have an ID. Try going to get an ID today at Home Affairs. Try. You will stand in a queue in the sun for hours, and you're lucky if you'll get it, because they tend to close down because of COVID, whatever. It's inhumane what we're doing to people, because we are not realizing that there's a better way, and the better way is this technology. So you open an account for anybody in an e-wallet, real time, not having to walk kilometers to go to a bank branch, that by the time you get to the bank branch and you stood in the queue, they ask you for things that you don't have, like proof of address. How many people live in shacks in South Africa? Huh? How are they going to prove that they have an address in a shack or in the street? Imagine if we could open an account simply by having a mobile phone, which most people, no matter what level of income they have a mobile phone. And we are even inventing, I've seen them, instruments that can be used by people that cannot even read or write, that they don't need data, they don't need the internet. We're creating all these tools so that they will be able to have access to this new technology. Imagine a person that sells in the street. They have a little stand in the street selling tomatoes. They'll get paid electronically, real time, with a QR code, with so many other tools, into their own wallet, which is not able to be stolen because these people are getting cash. So they turn around the corner and someone attacks them and the cash is gone. Do you know, Colin, that in South Africa, I think it's 1.5% of GDP goes to the Reserve Bank's cost in administering, cleaning, redistributing security of cash, meaning notes and coins. That's the cost of distributing and looking after this cash, which we have seen in pandemic times that people are not even using cash, which is also sad because there are people are not giving donations to the poor people asking in the street for money because nobody wants to touch the cash and nobody wants to touch the poor people. Imagine if you could have just a simple QR code that you tap into the other person's QR code, and you're able to transfer, you know, donations real time in the street, wherever you go. So can you see how this change? It's a total game changer if you are committed to making a difference.